I always say that the secular New Year is a great opportunity for us to check in on our resolutions that we made on the Jewish New Year. See how you're doing. But it's also a good opportunity for you to say, some of those didn't work out as well as I'd hoped they would. Maybe I can come up with new ones. And so I would recommend to everybody that with this secular New Year that you categorize your resolutions into 3 categories. And that would be, what are you doing for yourself physically? What are you doing for yourself emotionally? What are you doing for yourself spiritually? And have you aligned goals that will help you to achieve those accomplishments in the coming year? And I believe that this is going to be a good new year. So last week we discussed discovering oneself, uncovering who you are beneath the noise between the roles that you play, the defenses we put up, the scar tissue that we have grown, and the borrowed expectations. It is what I call the work of soul archaeology, the unearthing of your true name, your true story, your true spiritual fingerprint. And we asked the question last week, Mi ata, who are you? Who were you meant to be? And how far have you strayed from that person? This week, I want to turn that mirror into a doorway. This week asks not, do you know who you are? This week asks the question, do you know what you're going to do with it? Because identity is not the finish line. Identity, I believe, is a starting block. It's not the answer, it's the assignment. And when you stop fighting with yourself about who you are, then something holy really happens. You don't become self-absorbed, you become self-aligned. You don't become harsh, you become kind. Because deep kindness is born from confidence, not insecurity. This is the drama of Parashat Vayehi, where Jacob blesses his children not evenly, not generically, not diplomatically, but individually, even prophetically, unflinchingly. Each child is seen, each tribe is named, and each destiny is different. He'asvu va'agida lachem et asher yikra etchem be'acharit hayamim. Gather yourselves, and I will tell you what will befall you in the end of days, says Jacob to his children. Jacob says, come close. Let me tell you the truth about yourselves so that you can carry it forward into the future that's waiting for you. Not one blessing for all, a different blessing for each, because a nation needs all of its gates open all at once. Rashi sharpens this concept, and Rashi explains that Jacob wanted to reveal the future clearly because it was concealed. So instead, he blessed them according to their character and their role. Meaning, destiny isn't always delivered as clarity. Sometimes it's delivered as a calling. We don't always get to see the road ahead, but we get told what we're supposed to do on that work and what we're supposed to build on that road. And then the Svat Emet, one of the great Hasidic commentaries, gives us the theology behind the psychology. The Svat Emet says, Shekol echad yesh lo sha'ar miyuchad be'avodat Adonai, that every person is given their unique gate to doing the work of God. Each one has a unique role to play in the service of the Almighty. The Svat Emet says Israel becomes itself through orchestrated difference, not sameness. Each tribe is distinct, not to separate from the collective, but to serve the collective covenant in only the way that that individual tribe can. And that brings us to the part we struggle with. We've wrestled with this phrase. We've worried about how it sounds like distance, like hierarchy or disdain. We flinch when we hear it said, but the Torah meant for it in a different way. When we hear the words of Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Amim, that God chose us from amongst the nations, we flinch because we wonder how others might hear it. This sermon, I want you to know, was born of a singular conversation that I had over beers with 3 of my close friends, in which one of them said to me, "Why don't you embrace the sense of chosenness? God chose you." And of course, I shied away from it and thought deeply about the challenge. Chosenness never meant better than. Chosen means built for this. Chosen means God saw greatness in us that we've spent generations trying to grow brave enough to inhabit. It's a mandate of self-definition. To accept being chosen is to finally say, I will not diminish others in order for me to feel tall, but I'll also not diminish myself in order to feel safe. Because our destiny is not a threat to the world's humanity. It's a demand that we finally live up to our own. Jacob's blessing makes this plain. Judah will lead, but will not dominate. Yisachar will learn and carry wisdom. Zevulun will build through partnership and exchange. Joseph will sustain and dream beyond the horizon. Levi will channel fire into sacred purpose instead of chaos. Each tribe gets truth and task. Because greatness is not a personality, it's a responsibility. And when we stop fighting who we are, we discover confidence makes room. Security breeds generosity. Destiny accepted becomes compassion expressed. Destiny accepted becomes compassion expressed. When Jews finally inhabit their own greatness, the outcome is not chauvinism, it's rooted kindness. Unthreatened by difference, unafraid of identity, unwilling to degrade others to protect ourselves. Like we say every Shabbat morning, the courage to root out poverty. The courage it takes to root out poverty, to say that I am not less because others have more. A people who knows its own sha'ar, a people that knows its own gate, can bless the world without needing the world to validate the blessing first. So we stand this week at the end of the age of Breshit, and we begin the age of nationhood. And so we close the secular year and we open the next, and we remember the truest way to honor our identity is to live it forward into your purpose. Not by shrinking the story, but by carrying it. Not by blurring the mission, but by embodying it. Not by degrading others, but finally believing in yourself. Because the only identity that ever makes us small is the one where we're still afraid to step into it. So may we accept the size of our covenant, the depth of our difference, and the greatness that was spoken over us long before we ever felt ready for it. May we close the chapters honestly, step into the doorways bravely, and discover the kindness that only confidence can birth. Because we were never chosen to be more human than others. We were chosen to fully be ourselves, finally great, responsibly and kind. Shabbat Shalom. We continue with Musaf, page 184, the Chatzi Kaddish. Please rise.